think heated rivalry did more harm than it did good. We spent 2 decades hearing lesbians be like, hey, having straight men fetishize us and seeing us fetishized in media as a way to appeal to straight men is not only does it dehumanize us, it's also extremely harmful. And then at the first chance they get, straight women went and did that to gay men. Zach and Bryce of it all this season has really bothered me for like multiple reasons. I start by saying that if these two have feelings for each other and they actually want to be together, there's nothing wrong with that, right? They went to this experience, they accidentally met someone who they clicked with, right? And they want to be together. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. I just want to put that out there. The issue is the dishonesty of it all. That if these two do have feelings for each other and they're not being open and speaking about that, one with each other, but more importantly, with the women that they're coupled up with, that is cruel. You are robbing these girls of having a real Love Island experience by pretending to be all into them while obviously you have something else going on. This is a once in a lifetime experience and they have an opportunity to find love. And if it's not with you because you know your heart is somewhere else, then you should be honest about that and give them the chance to explore and find someone else. All of it feels extremely deceitful, and I would be very hurt if I was one of these girls and then I left the island and went home and then rewatched the season and found out that the entire time, at the very minimum, my partner was having an emotional affair with someone else. My partner was pretending to like me and to be into me and convincing me of that, while the whole other time they wanted to be with someone else and they knew that. Zach and Bryce are actually really into each other. To me, it is no different than what Sincere just did with Soul and Melanie. To me, it's the same exact thing. It's the same level of lying. It's the same level of deceitfulness. It is cruel to these girls. Have a gay awakening, sure, who cares? But why does it have to come at the expense of these women? The other half of it is that maybe they're not gay. They are straight, right? And like there's obvious like either production or it's the bombshells are very aware of what the public is saying and they're being fed it. They're being told it, right? Because on more than one occasion we've seen them reference something that the internet is talking about. And we're like, how do you guys know that? Like the whole Bryce and Zach thing was very, very subtle the first few episodes, right? And then it started being a conversation online of like, oh my God, they have a crush on each other. Oh my God, I actually shipped these two together, right? And either they found out about it, the internet was talking like that, or the editor was like, oh, you guys like seeing them together, and decided to only edit in all of these things that they do to each other and like speaking to each other. Would I be surprised if it is the editors doing it on purpose, right? Because Love Island is supposed to be representative of like what's happening culturally. And again, heated rivalry and the idea of like two men being gay is something that straight women are going crazy over. So would I put it past the editors to kind of exploiting that and like showing us as much of this as possible because they're like, oh my God, the ratings, they're going to eat this up. This is going to be the slow burn of the season. People are going to love this. Which puts them in this really awkward position. I think is like a mean and cruel thing to do to Zach and Bryce, to essentially sacrifice them for the sake of ratings. Because now it puts them in a shitty position where either they have to be like, either be together, right? Like, oh my God, okay, we'll be together. Or they have to come out and kind of like figure out a way very carefully without sounding homophobic and being like, we're not gay, we're just friends. Like, not at all. Like, we don't, you know what I'm saying? And like, that gets weird and that sucks. That's a weird position to be put in. One of my biggest problems when it comes to assuming that two men who are close have to be gay, right, is the idea that like I have a lot of female friendships and like me and my female friendships are, I would argue, are similar to Zach and Bryce, right? Like I've seen my friends nude before. Like when we go on vacation, we climb into bed together. Like we are extremely close. My female friendships are extremely intimate, right? And there's nothing romantic about it at all. It's just how female friendships are. Like we're super close. So these people are living in the house together, being together 24/7. Am I surprised that they've gotten close? No, not at all. And I would love to live in a world where two men can have a close and intimate friendship, right? And are allowed to be vulnerable and like soft and comfortable with each other without the entire world being like, oh my God, they're absolutely gay. Like to me, it's a very early 2000s coded where everything was gay and you had to be ashamed about it and everything had to be no homo, or if not, I would like to live in a world where men are encouraged to have more intimate friendships, where men are encouraged to be vulnerable and close with people without having assumptions made about it being romantic. Because the problem is that the problem that we have now is that we have a generation of men who only see intimate relationships as romantic, who do not know how to form any kind of bonds and connections with other people without assuming that there has to be some kind of sex involved. The idea of teaching men like, hey, you can be intimate and close with someone and it can be platonic, right? And you should still value that. That still matters. You can pour into people without expecting sex in return. I feel like when we start doing headlines like this, all we are doing is demonizing the idea of two straight men having intimate relationships with other people who are not their sexual partners. I'm curious as to why men can't be good friends to each other and also to women. It is because it has been ingrained in them that if you are going to be intimate and you are going to care for someone, it's because they are going to give you sex in return, right? It's because the relationship has to be sexual. And if it's not sexual, then there's no point in investing in it. There's nothing wrong with gay love. We love to see it and there's a place for it, right? Like we need to platform it and be able to see it in healthy ways. But I think the idea of pushing narratives of gay love for the entertainment of straight women to me is just as bad as making lesbians kiss or having women kiss in front of men for male attention. Like the whole computer make both these guys gay and horny to me was always fucking weird.